What if you woke up one morning to the news that the embassy of your country in a foreign land has been closed due to a looming threat of attack? Imagine the unease, the apprehension. That's exactly what's happening with Israeli embassies in India right now. An unsettling cloud of fear has descended, brought on by the threat of an Iranian attack on Israel. The catalyst? An assassination in Damascus. The reaction? Heightened security measures, closed embassies, and a world on edge. The fear of an imminent attack has led to the closure of embassies, but what led us to this point? To understand the current situation, we need to take a step back and look at the events that have unfolded over time. Our timeline begins with a shocking incident that sent ripples around the world: the assassination of senior Iranian officials. This audacious act set the stage for a series of events that would gradually escalate tensions in the region. Following the assassination, Iran responded with threats of retribution. The Iranian authorities made it clear that they wouldn't let this incident slide, and their threats began to loom large over the diplomatic landscape. The rhetoric grew fiercer, and the potential for retaliation became a genuine cause for concern. While the world was still coming to terms with the heightened rhetoric, U.S. intelligence reports began to surface. These reports indicated a possible imminent attack targeting Israeli or U.S. assets. The suggested method of attack involved drones and cruise missiles, adding a chilling dimension to the already tense situation. As the threat of an attack grew, the focus turned to Israeli diplomats in India. In the past, these diplomats had been the targets of attacks. This history of violence served as a stark reminder of the security risks faced by these individuals and the institutions they represent. The threat wasn't just limited to the diplomats. There were fears of attacks on embassy compounds and even Israeli children. This grim possibility further underscored the severity of the situation and the urgency to take preventive measures. As the series of events unfolded, the tension in the air grew thicker. The atmosphere of uncertainty was palpable, and the sense of unease was impossible to ignore. The Israeli diplomatic missions in India had no choice but to respond. They opted for the safest course of action, closing their doors for security reasons. These events have not only heightened the security measures but also escalated the fear of a potential attack. This timeline of tensions gives us a clearer picture of the current situation, a situation that continues to evolve with each passing day. With the threat level escalating, the decision was made to close the Israeli diplomatic missions in India. This move, though drastic, was fueled by the necessity for safety amid concerns of potential revenge attacks on Israeli diplomats. The closure wasn't an arbitrary decision, it was a strategic response to the looming Iranian threats following the assassination of senior Iranian officials. The fear was not unfounded. The U.S. had uncovered intelligence indicating a possible imminent attack targeting Israeli or U.S. assets, involving drones and cruise missiles. The stakes were high and the threat was palpable. The decision to close the embassies wasn't just about protecting diplomats, it was about safeguarding Israeli children and other innocents who could potentially be caught in the crossfire. But this closure isn't just a simple lock of the doors, it carries implications for both Israel and India. For Israel, it's the fear of isolation and the struggle to maintain diplomatic relations. For India, it's the challenge of balancing its own national security with its international alliances. Indian intelligence sources have been vigilant, stepping up to protect Israeli diplomats and assets. Their role in this situation, though often overlooked, is critical. They're the eyes and ears on the ground, working tirelessly to ensure the safety of everyone involved. The closure of the embassies underscores the severity of the situation and the real threat that exists. In such times, we are reminded of the delicate balance that diplomacy often hangs in, and the lengths nations will go to protect their own. As we grapple with this new reality, let's take a moment to summarize what we've discussed. We started with the unsettling question of potential revenge attacks, following an assassination in Damascus. This event has fueled tensions, and the fallout has been far-reaching, with Iranian threats looming large over the globe. We then delved into the timeline of these tensions, tracing the events that culminated in the closure of Israeli diplomatic missions in India. The heightened security measures implemented are a response to these threats, with fears of attacks on embassy compounds, diplomats, and even Israeli children. We discussed the closure of the Israeli embassies in Delhi and Mumbai. The decision, albeit drastic, underscores the severity of the situation and the extent of the perceived threat. The move is a clear indicator of the precarious state of affairs, with the safety of diplomatic personnel prioritized above all else. We also touched upon the role of Indian intelligence sources. Vigilant and proactive, they are taking steps to ensure the safety of Israeli diplomats and assets on Indian soil. Their role is vital in this high-stakes scenario as they navigate the challenges of protecting foreign diplomats while maintaining internal security. The implications of these events are far-reaching, with the fear of an imminent attack casting a shadow over diplomatic relations and global security. These developments serve as a stark reminder of the fragile nature of international relations and the often thin line between peace and conflict. While we hope for a peaceful resolution, the fear of an imminent attack persists. Only time will tell how this situation unfolds. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Israeli embassy closure in India. We hope this analysis has shed light on the complexities of the situation and the far-reaching implications it holds for global security. If you found this video insightful and wish to stay updated with our in-depth analysis of global issues, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As we sign off, we express our hope for a peaceful resolution to this situation. The world has seen enough conflict, and it's high time we prioritize diplomacy and dialogue over fear and retaliation. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and remember that knowledge is power.